Hi, I'm Marc Frazier, and I'm a volunteer here at Texas Memorial Museum in Austin, Texas. And when I'm not volunteering here, I help people learn how to take care of their bodies through massaging the muscles when they've got an injury, or teaching them how to move and exercise so that they don't get an injury. And I was excited to hear that today we're talking about the skeleton, because I have to really know the skeleton in my job as much as I know the muscles. So this is a plastic skeleton. It's a model of the one that is in our bodies, but the bones that are in our bodies are living organs, just like your brain and your heart and your lungs. And they help you to move, and they also help keep your blood healthy. So let's get started with studying the skeleton. So when a part of being a scientist is learning to look at things differently than what we normally look at. So with the skeleton, we all kind of are familiar with the skeleton as one unit, and the bones are what helps us move. And that's true. But you could also break this into 3 different parts based on what the movements are. So we're going to have you divide the skeleton from head to tail, and we can include the pelvis in that, and the leg or the lower limb, and the arm or the upper limb. So we're going to look at the movements and what these different parts do as an overall, so that you can understand the whole skeleton a lot better. So we'll start with the axial skeleton, which is the head to tail part. And this is the part that wouldn't have arms or legs and would move kind of like a worm or a snake or a fish. Try those movements yourself and see what that feels like, and see how you move and what it would be like to move without arms or legs. You could even try this on the ground. You'll see you don't get very far. The next thing we're going to look at is the lower limb. So some people include the pelvis in the lower limb because so many of the leg and hip muscles attach there. But that's a subject of another video. So our legs' main job is to move us forward and sideways and backwards, and move this like it's a passenger. So try moving around on your legs, go in different directions and squat and jump and run, and try to see how those legs help move the skeleton. The third part is going to be the upper limb, and that can include the shoulder blade or shoulder girdle, which is where the arm attaches to the axial skeleton that we talked about earlier. So in most of our everyday life, all of this musculature and skeleton is about putting the hand in a different place. Sometimes we use our arms for other things, and that's one of the beautiful adaptations that our skeletons and our bodies can do, is coming up with another way to do the same job. So you can also use your arms for locomotion when you're climbing, or when you're jumping from one thing to another and you're grabbing on, or if I'm sitting in a wheelchair. That's actually going to be how I get around, is with my upper limb. And again, that's just one of the wonderful things about our bodies that they can do, is come up with a new answer. But let's look back at the hand that we talked about just a second ago. And what we're going to have you do is grab this part of your elbow, which is the bony part right here, and then you're going to see that the rest of your forearm and hand move, but this bone that you're attaching to doesn't. And it looks something like this. So here's the elbow, and then here's your wrist and hand and forearm turning over. So again, the body has a lot of different ways to move the hand into different places. Well, that's it for this video. We'll see you in the next one.